scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements.
Why can't you hold on to football? It's so goddamn hard about holding on to it.
Welcome to the inaugural episode, The Real Deal. Fantasy Millionaires are live.
Dude, and we're getting 130 hearts right now on Periscope. I got 100, we're at 150. People are blowing it up. It's just so encouraging. Thank you to everybody who is here, who's joining us for the first time. You guys are, we love you. So
Tonight we're going to get into how to pronounce hydroxychloroquine.
right away.
Trump versus Biden, potential election outcomes.
And the death clock. Bets on the
Discuss
death clock.
Black Lives Matter with your black neighbors.
Yeah.
And the Kennedy assassination.
Of course. In that order.
Yeah.
Or just hear me out. We could roll through our top 12 in the first round and just see, for redraft, PPR, of course. What do you think? Swayed you maybe?
If you're tuning into this podcast, this is a podcast for a 12-man redraft, 16-round, QB gets 6 points, PPR league.
PPR.
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can take this information and blend it with whatever other league you're in, but that's what we're doing tonight. We're doing how we're going to go through the first round in 2020.
In our home league also, or in industry league or whatever kind of big money league you're in, where our league just starts at 200. I think both leagues I'm in just are at 200. So, we want to win. It's thousands of dollars at stake. They've been at stake for a long time. My man Mike has won several of those thousands of dollars. So, we all want a piece of that pie, and that's our goal here at the Fantasy Millionaires. It's really to become millionaires, and it's to, if you follow along with us, to help you become millionaires.
Right. And there's this is, for me, this is I'm giving out a lot of my recipes, in drafting. For me, I believe that in order to make the playoffs in a league like we play in, you're looking to try and get 2,000 points. That's the threshold. That's the champion top tier team.
Yeah.
How can you be a team that gets 2,000 points? So, the first round, that's easy. That's an easy thing for us to talk about. There's an undisputed 9.
Right.
That the entire industry agrees on.
Yeah, you can't get out of that top 9. It is what it is.
Yeah, so the undisputed 9, there's 6 running backs in the undisputed 9 and 3 wide receivers. So we got, for the running back, CMC, Saquon, Derrick Henry, Zeke, Kamara, Dalvin Cook. The wide receivers are Michael Thomas, Adams, and Hill. And then we'll be picking 3 more guys besides that. And we don't even know each other's ranks. We have not pre-gamed our ranks, so we're going to find out where we're ranking stuff. So,
behind the curtain here, me and Mike have been in a redraft league for going on 15 years now. So he's won it so many times. I'm just starting a podcast so that I can get his secrets, because now he's going to have to share. That's really why we're here.
Nah, man, you that just makes me do a little bit embarrassing. So, did you want to?
I think we should jump right in. I mean, I think we could
hydroxychloroquine too. Just
for the record, can we call it like HCC or something?
Not Queen.
Q. Queen? How do we? Yeah,
hydroxychloroquine.
So how we hyphenating that to make it easier to say?
You got that droxy.
The drox. You got the drox drip?
You got that H-drox.
The H-drox drip.
Cough. You got that H-drox.
You got that H-drox. I think it sounds perfect. I want some now. I don't even know what it is. It sounds.
I want some too. I'll totally take some.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could just jump right in and start at CMC and just talk about what we see in him. I mean, I think a lot of podcasts will just go, "Hey, CMC's number one, move on." And I think rightly so. He's been talked about, but what do you see in him that's going to make him? Is he your number one? I don't want to jump the gun. Is he? I want to ask. Is he?
Dude, so my wife plays, and she was like, "Is that the greatest fantasy season ever?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so. I mean, like Jerry Rice, Marshall Faulk, LaDainian Tomlinson." So I went and looked it up. I thought Jerry Rice would have had I don't know, 3 in the top 3. He's in the top 10. That season last year is the second greatest fantasy season of all time. So I was thinking about, putting Saquon ahead of him.
Yeah.
But he had the second greatest fantasy season of all time with 14 less TDs than LaDainian Tomlinson had as the number one, I think, in 2003. That's insane. And it was doing it in PPR. So this is PPR.
Okay.
A fun way to play fantasy football.
I think it's the only real way to play fantasy football is PPR. If you're playing in standard, I feel like you also check your scores with the newspaper the next day, and then you have a special pencil that you wear behind your ear for most of the time you're awake. That's just my thought, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm throwing some shade. I'm sorry. Please forgive.
Well, some people get all caught up in will they catch you behind the line of scrimmage thing, and it's like, dude, these guys are taking just years off their life every time they put those cleats on. Give them a point for a reception, dude.
Right. Of course. Give them that point.
So, I was excited to talk about him because even though I think him and Barkley are going to be neck and neck, I mean, the stats speak for themselves. You're dealing with an all-time great running back right now. And he in PPR, he's a monster.
Yeah.
He breaks his own record from 2018 and 2019 for receptions by a running back.
I mean, he had 1 million targets. I mean, literally 1 million targets.
Right. So, 13 TDs in 2018, 19 TDs. I mean, 2018 he had 13 TDs, and 2019 he had 19. So, unless this new coach, Matt Rule, whatever his name, comes in from Baylor and is just some sort of weirdo.
Yeah. He doesn't like touchdowns all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. This guy is he's already done historic things, so you're going to give him the ball. So, yeah, he's my number one.
Yeah. No, he's my number one, too. And I think in my projection tool that I've been using from Kyle Yates, shout out, Kyle Yates again, I tried to go back and give him less than he did last year since it was such an historic year. He still had 425 points at the end of my projection. I thought, this is ridiculous still. This is still ridiculous. And I took away 30 of his targets. I took away 4 of his touchdowns. So I took his yards, per carry percentage down just 1, just 1%. So, or 1/10 of So he's going to be a monster. Saquon could challenge him week to week for RB1 status a lot of the times. I wouldn't be surprised if Saquon doesn't, get it 4 or 5 times and CMC gets it 5 or 6. But that's still a lot. I mean, maybe 3 or 4. But they're going to be the best 2, I believe, barring injury this year, by clear 30, 40 points over everybody else.
Yeah. In the BFFs league, our home league, he had over 500 points. What?
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah. So he's a lock for us. Who's your number 2, or do you want me to reveal my number 2?
Go ahead. You go.
Mine looks great in nudes that you shared earlier this week in our practice run-up episodes. His name is Saquon Barkley, and he is the real deal. And I've come around on him more so. He got hurt last year, and I was just kind of like, see, told you. And that's kind of not fair. I think that's if you get hurt perpetually, maybe that's fair. But He came back. You're right. He came back strong last year. Ran for over 1,000 yards on a high ankle sprain. The rest of the year, he was crushing it. His body. If I worked for the rest of my life, I don't think my body could ever be as toned as his body is now. So, yeah. I mean, his lateral agility. He's got high speed score, high 3-cone drill score. He's the guy you want with the football in open space in the NFL. Maybe besides him and Tyreek Hill, I think those two guys. They're hard to tackle. So, yeah, he's my number 2.
Up on my screen. I forgot to put up our boy McCaffrey too. But I have Saquon's beautiful butt up right now.
Oh, great. I have him up. He's clothed. He's in a Giants uniform. He's rushing for a touchdown. So
this was McCaffrey.
Go back. Is he naked too? I can't see your screen.
No, he's not naked, but it's that one where everyone just was like, adjust your ranks.
Oh, right. Guess what? I did.
Say adjust your ranks, and then of course here's Saquon and his booty, and it's just tremendously beautiful. So
yeah, very openly content men on the show, but able to appreciate.
I showed a little different pick this time. He's catching the football. Still a lot of butt.
A lot of butt. Good. So I like it. All right, let's move on from the butt man to your number 3. Who you got in the third slot here?
So we're both Saquon for 2, huh?
100%.
Yeah. I didn't. All I wanted to say about him is just this is why me and Jesse are me and Scott are going to be doing bets throughout the year. $1,000, 1K, 1G bets.
That's a starting point, though. If like for bigger bets, we might get up to the 10K range.
I was thinking of betting on Saquon versus McCaffrey because
for a G, it's not that bad.
He's a faster, stronger dude, and
volume is still king, my friend.
What's that?
Volume is still king.
Volume is still king, and that's why I'm not making the bet. But I was close, So I absolutely love Saquon this year.
Good.
And it was hard, and then it was hard for me to bump this guy out of number 2.
Really?
And I bet we both have the same guy. It's Mr. 10.5-inch hands himself.
Yes, sir.
Michael Thomas.
100%. Yeah.
That's who you got too?
Yeah, he's flexing out. He's strong to quite strong, Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Strong to quite strong. Greatest single season reception record last year. I don't think anything's going to change. In our league, he had almost 400 points. And that's the thing with any of these first 3 guys, if you're lucky enough to get those picks, you could potentially, to get to that 2,000 mark, point threshold. Now you could be getting guys that could get you potentially 400, and that is key. And I think they're in their own tier, those 3 guys.
Right. No, I agree, and we're simpatico, and I think with the 2 things you look for in any wide receiver 1 on your team or RB1 is talent with opportunity. In a high volume offense, it's going to feature them, and with Michael Thomas, and then Alvin Kamara even later. On shout out Bo, who's throwing some comments in there. I agree. The Saints have 2 weapons. It's interesting to see where you have Kamara compared to where I do, but they've got 2 weapons. The Chiefs have 2 weapons. There's several teams have several weapons at the top who they really make their offenses really dangerous. And Michael Thomas, Saquon and CMC are the top 3 players to be drafted this year for me. That's just in PPR if you want to win. So
the Millionaires are agreed on their first 3 picks.
So
I think I'm going to start going outside the lines on my next pick.
All right, let's reveal.
I got I got the big boy.
Is it number 22 and he's like 6'4" and like 240?
He's 6'3".
Sorry.
I'm sharing a picture of Mark Ingram.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, next to his dad.
He is Paul Bunyan, dude. Derrick Henry is he is not a human being. I mean, that guy
Right.
is. I mean, if you want to get into scenarios of, like worst, nightmare professional athlete situations, like taking a punch from Mike Tyson,
Right.
um,
Trying to tackle Derrick Henry.
that's the next for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that guy is a train,
Yeah.
dude. The D train.
I'd rather face Street Jesus himself in the ring and take a punch to the jaw from him than try to put my jaw, my face, my body in front of any part of Derrick Henry. And not to give I'm 235 right now. When I was a younger man, I was maybe 270, and I could bring a wallop. Just ask my friend Andre Perna, shout out Australia football player. He knows what it's like to get hit. But D Train would run me into the ground. I would be in a wheelchair after that. It'd be over.
He,
I have him too as number 4, by the way, just in case you didn't know, since I was jocking him. So we're simpatico as well through 4.
you know how the NBA is like putting stuff on their jerseys?
Yeah,
They're putting like Black Lives Matter, or just different
emblem.
little,
Yes.
little emblems.
Yes.
You can kind of put whatever they want. If the NFL does that, he should put "I cause CTE" on his helmet.
That CTE maker on the.
Warning.
If that's the case, if you can do your own decals, I would do a decal of Derrick Henry on my helmet, because that's who I'd be like. I want to be like him.
Yeah, he should come with a warning that says "tackling me causes CTE."
Yeah, or you might have to play for the Jaguars. I think he's still pushing their players out of bounds from that 90-yard run a couple years ago. He shoved one guy like 3 different times. He kept coming at him, and he just said, "Nah, man, nah." So
Yeah.
All right, so through 4 we're good. I know we're not going to be the same the whole time. We've not shared, by the way, so this is just kind of our own brain. Number 5, you ready to roll? I can share mine.
Yeah. I can't believe that you ended up with Henry at 4.
I like him. I got Zeke, my RB4 at 5 for me. This is the thing that pushed me back a little bit on him. Who's your number 5, by the way?
5 for me too.
5 for you too. Here's what pushes me back. Honestly, it's that Dak Prescott has so many freaking weapons. Blake Jarwin is going to be an undervalued tight end. He was a breakout tight end until they drafted CeeDee Lamb, and then people just kind of gave up on him. He's going to get wide open in this offense. Everybody's going to eat in this offense, barring injury, barring a COVID outbreak, barring people retiring, whatever. If this offense actually gets to play. So I think it's not that Zeke won't eat. He'll have games where he is the RB1. He's, to me, he's got the most upside week to week, getting 2 or 3 touchdowns, him and CMC. But there's going to be games where they don't need to run the football, and Dak will throw a 17-yard slant to CeeDee Lamb, and he'll go 80 yards to the house, and it's 7-0. And then they hand off the ball to Zeke. He goes for 15, and then Tony Pollard catches a screen and goes for 25 for a touchdown. It's going to happen. This game's like that, and so he's still an RB1. He's still a good player. He's just not as shiny anymore.
Yeah. Here's why Zeke, I think, he could end up being the RB1. He could. Because he could end up with a 20+ touchdown season because of that offense.
Well, he could be at the goal if everybody gets tackled at the goal line, and that's the thing that's so interesting. And we played fantasy long enough to know you're watching your guy, your receiver, your running back run towards the end zone, and there's a chance he gets tackled, and they do, and they get tackled like right near the 1. You're just like, oh God, and then they give it to Zeke. So
man, and just
doing that. Well, but that happened to Julio Jones a couple years ago. He got tackled within the 5-yard line like 5 times one year, and if he gets through those arm tackles or whatever it is, those are 5 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns or whatever. So And touchdowns are hard to predict, but I agree with you. With Zeke, there is great potential, but then also there's going to be there's regression too. So I'm not gonna. It has nothing to do with COVID either. I think, dude, he's a man beast. You know, I wouldn't want to tackle him either.
He's a man beast. I just think he's out of the running backs we named, he's the least talented. But
Yeah,
he has the greatest upside too.
Yeah.
So that's just where we've got him at 5. It's pretty cool. So who you going with 6, bro? Who's your 6th dude?
You know, I got a little man called Devontae Adams.
You like Devontae?
Yeah, he's my number 6, and he's my wide receiver 2. We've talked about him this week, comparing him to kind of Michael Thomas originally. I put out a tweet thread earlier this week as Nimble with Numbers, and they average about the same amount of fantasy points per game over their career, over the last 4 years at least. It's 11.7 fantasy points per game in PPR, and they average around the same amount of targets. The thing that really sets Michael Thomas apart from Devonta Adams is that he has a better catch percentage, but Devonta Adams has a greater touchdown upside. He's got 12 more touchdowns than Michael Thomas does. So to me, he's the touchdown leader for the wide receivers this year, and it's hard to predict him, but if he's healthy and he is the number 1 wide receiver, he's getting 150 targets, I think. That's kind of his floor. To me, he could get more, especially since Funches is out. So he's my number 6. Where are you at with number 6 for you?
So I've got Devontae Adams as my 7.
Okay. Oh, good. We differ. I like that.
Yeah. So Devontae Adams, I think everything you just said is why I made him my number 2 wide receiver off the board. He's you can bet, as long as there's no injuries, on a 10 touchdown season.
Yeah.
100 plus receptions, over 1,300 receiving yards.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that extra touchdown or so that makes him the number 2.
Right.
So yeah, I'm with you. I have Dalvin Cook as my 6.
Dalvin Cook is your 6. I like it.
Yeah,
Not
and
as
he's
much
just
as you,
somebody
but I like
that. Well, I just remember. I don't think I had any shares of him last year, and I remember the fantasy footballers pumping him and being a little scared of his injury history, and I just thought he was a little bit overrated. And I watched so many different teams, make it to the playoffs that had him on their team because he was just an animal.
Yeah.
1,600 scrimmage yards, 13, plus TDs. So to me, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be the exact same thing this year. Like, I think he is going to have a very similar year. I don't see why there'd be any regression.
Yeah.
So I look at him as the 5th running back off the board from me. And if he gets 1,600 scrimmage yards and 13 plus TDs, and I don't think you're wasting with your 6th pick. I think running backs in the first round are so valuable. If you go back and you look at the last, 3 or 4 years, all the years in fantasy, there's kind of like these groups of high performers, and there's going to be a lump of running backs, and then there's going to be the top tier wide receivers, and then it's going to start, being kind of player dependent.
Yeah.
But there's usually, 5 guys that will be those 300 plus point guys. And to get to that 2,000 point threshold, that's what you want. You want one of those. You want a couple of them.
Right.
That goal. So your first round guys are like guarantees. And, you know, again, barring injury, I think he's a lock to get over 300 or right around there
Yeah.
in the neighborhood.
I like it. I'm going to wait to reveal where he is for me, but I'd love to jump into my number 7 real quick because it is someone different. You've already shared Devontae Adams as your number 7.
Right.
So for me, my number 7 is, oops, where'd it go? I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Is Alvin Kamara. He's my number 7. He's my RB5. Barring injury, last year he was injured, and he was also one of those guys who just did not get touchdowns until the last couple weeks of the year, and then he started getting them to a game. And I think that's what you get in Alvin Kamara, that the upside that you're chasing with him. I think that in this offense this year, he is going to have a funnel of opportunity. I think he'll have more carries than he had last year. I projected him for an increase of 15% more carries. Not even counting his injury. I think that Murray is a great, kind of off-speed pitch. He's a bruiser. He can also move around, and he's not Jordan Howard plodding around. So they do work together well. But I think Kamara is just he's poised to bust out this year, and I think Dalvin Cook probably has more a safer floor than Kamara does. But I think Kamara's ceiling is a little bit higher than Cook's for me. So he's one spot ahead in the RBs right now than your guy is. So
I'll tell you, for me, I have him at 9. And the reason why I have him at 9 is Taysom Hill.
Not bad.
He just changed that whole scene down there at the goal line last year, dude. And I don't see Sean Payton getting away from that because he is such an X factor. I think he'll have a better season than he had last year. In our league, Kamara finished 12th.
Yeah.
So I expect him to do better, and I don't expect Taysom to siphon away as many touchdowns.
Yeah.
But it's strictly because of that. I don't, as a fantasy owner, when you have a share, the worst thing in the world is seeing them down at the goal line and then they go plug in, Taysom, and you're just like,
right.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Right.
No.
I agree. That's a really good point. So one of our friends, Joey PA89, who earlier reached out, a little disappointed on the tweeters that I didn't include him in my group of people that I shared the news about our glorious first episode with. I didn't want to bombard all of Twitter, so I just did 3 general tweet outs. But my man's here. He's in the chat. He's got a question for you, Mike. He wants to know, for Dalvin Cook, how many games are you projecting him to play? Are you going to go... I mean, maybe it's even hard to say full 17 because week 17 doesn't really matter. But in that 16-game fantasy season, what are you looking at? Are you giving him the full 16? Are you giving him 14? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that my man. I made friends with him too. I started following him. We followed each other. So
shout out.
I like that question just because that's been my thought on him as well. Is that he's shown that he's injury prone
a little bit,
but last year in 14 games he got over 1,600 yards from scrimmage. So
yeah,
I think I'm gonna bet he plays in at least I'll say 13. And yeah. So I mean, even the year before, he ended up, with his injury, he made it back and he was in 11. So
yeah.
That was a significant injury. So, running backs get dinged up. I'm sure he'll deal with some sort of knee issue or something. But I think I'm not gonna stay away from him based on his injury history.
Right.
For 2020.
I got you. Well, my man Bob Gilchrist, shout out. He designed and is in my fishbowl division. We are the mask division. He designed my Abbey my avatar for the last month or so before I went to the new Nimble with Numbers. And then before I changed it up to the Fantasy Millionaires, I got that picture by Fantasy Duke. So he just said that he threw some shade both of our ways. He said our boy Dalvin Cook's going to play 3 games. So, okay. Well, moving on.
Well, that's cool, man. If you and
Good
if you're
habit.
right, if you're
I
right,
love
then
Bob, by the way, but
yeah, you called it. It's
Bob.
just how do you call an injury? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, he's not built like he's going to get injured. He's 5'10", 210 pounds. So he's got the right body size to play in the NFL. That's for sure. Kamara is somebody that I worry more about getting injured.
Yeah, well,
personally.
Kamara is tiptoeing through the tulips. Try that on for a little bit of alliteration. Yeah, he's very nimble, we'll say.
I'm going to give you
Thank you. All right, moving on to our next spot. That is where I do have Dalvin Cook. He's my RB6. We kind of touched on him just now. Where do you have? Where is your numero? Is it 8? We're on 8 total, right?
Yeah. So I'm bringing in a wild animal. A cheetah. Yeah. 4.29 40 time. 1,600 scrimmage yards, 13 plus TD, 2018. He still put together a good season in 2019, missing 4 games.
Yeah.
So I'm predicting him at 140 targets, 90 plus receptions, 1,400 receiving yards, and the nice thing about the cheetah is that he's going to get you some rushing yards.
Yeah.
They like to work that guy in on the jet sweeps and the gimmick plays that offense is going to run. And so he's going to get my prediction is 1,500 yards from scrimmage this year.
I like that. I like that. That's a good. If I didn't like the cheetah, that'd be a great $1,000 bet. But it's one of those. I think we're both going to the window together to put it down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And the cheetah to me, I'll bet Michael Thomas leads the leagues again in receptions, and I think the cheetah might lead the league in receiving yards. Yeah. I think the cheetah is going to have a fantastic year. He's 26 years old. Mahomes is going to be fully operational. They're the defending Super Bowl champs. That offense is going to be, 1 or 2. It's them, the Cowboys, I think. And he's gonna have those 60-yard touchdowns this year. I mean, he's gonna have, those just big, juicy fantasy touchdowns that you just go, I just won. I just won.
Yeah. Well, you just described my wide receiver 3 and my last person who's in the, I guess the 9, maybe not even in the 9. Tyreek is my 9th player, and yours was Dalvin. Yours was Kamara. So we've kind of come to the end of the top 9.
Who's your 8?
My 8th was Dalvin Cook.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
so we just differed. I went Kamara, Cook, Tyreek Hill. You went Cook, Tyreek Hill, Kamara.
I went Cook, Adams. So Adams was 7, Tyreek Hill, and then Kamara was 9.
9, yeah, okay.
We'll run through them at the end too.
We will.
But post it on our website too.
We will. And that is just thefantasymillionaires.com.
Right. Yeah, if you Google, since we just made the website, it's a little bit hard to find because Google is still indexing it. So just put that into the search. Just type in thefantasymillionaires.com, or if you search it in Google, put in thefantasymillionaires.com, and then you can find it there. But it should be searchable soon. It takes a few weeks. So,
Millionaires.
What you
Sorry.
Millionaires drop.
Millionaires.
Yeah, we'll have everything up probably tonight as far as the first round. But so I went 9 with Kamara, and you're going Tyreek Hill at 9.
Yep.
Okay.
Uncharted waters here, going into the 10. The uncertainty, it's palpable. So do you want to break it off, or do you want me to give it a go?
I can break it off because I've
me
got
with-
a I've got I've got somebody that is probably not an industry consensus. He's definitely not a consensus first round guy. Although at 10,
Can I make a prediction?
Matthew, yes, make a prediction.
Can I say that I think it is DeAndre Hopkins?
No, he is mine. He's coming.
Okay, go ahead.
All
right, good.
Matthew Berry has this guy at 9, and good old Matthew has been doing this for a while, and I am high on this guy. I am high on him. I have I've had shares of him before, and I got Joseph Mixon as my 10th player off the board. So
excellent. Well, we're definitely going off in a different. We're Robert Frosting it right now in the different paths of the woods, because I didn't even Mixon's not even in my top 12. Unfortunately, he didn't make the cut. My guy is Julio Jones. Even though I think, you and I have a little side bet that maybe we'll get to next week or the weeks to come when Calvin Ridley gets brought up. But I still think Julio Jones is one of the top 3, if not top 5 at least, wide receivers. And this is it's an even year. And Matty Ice is going to throw for like 10,000 yards. And if Julio Jones could just catch lightning in a bottle and catch a couple more touchdowns, good Lord, Julio, I love you, man. You're the best wide receiver in the last 10 years. But just catch like 3 more touchdowns this year. I think, for me, I'd love to have him on my team. You can get him in the second round. That's the thing. But, and I'll wait on him. I'll get somebody else in the first round and get him in the second. I just think he is going to be one of the top wide receivers. And he's my wide receiver 4.
So I will make some Julio comments. I have him at 12, so he makes my first round.
Okay.
20 as well. Here's why. I think DeAndre Hopkins is the best skill-wise wide receiver in the league.
Yeah.
I think the best, body, the best dimensions to build a wide receiver maybe ever is Julio Jones. That dude. So Michael Thomas, 10.5-inch hands. DeAndre Hopkins, 10-inch hands. Julio is right there. He's got 9 3/4-inch hands, which I am really starting to key in on as a fantasy player, because these are the things that there are certain dimensions that work well in football, and for receivers, hand length is first and then arm length is second, because they all have pretty decent arms. None of them have little dinosaur arms with 10-inch hands. But
Wes Welker does, but
Yeah. Well, Tyreek Hills probably aren't that big. But if you run a sub 4.3, they don't have to be.
Nope.
But Julio is 6'3", 220. He averages 96.2 yards per game for his career. I think why everybody, why he's not, Devontae Adams for us, why he's not 2, is just he is 31 years old.
Right. Right.
So, Father Time is, he's in the neighborhood.
Julio's beating him back, though, man. To be honest with you,
find out where he lives. You know what I mean? Like Julio is
looking for Julio right now.
Yeah, he's looking for him. Julio's going to have another big season. This isn't the year,
He falls off.
and yeah, this isn't the year where Calvin Ridley takes over. I think Julio is solid. I have him at 12 because just because of his age and Calvin Ridley, to me,
Yeah.
is why I kind of degraded him. But if you're playing in a 12-man league or you're playing in a 10-man league,
Yeah.
I think he is worth the draft capital because he's so solid. And then that's the other thing with him too, is that, when you talk about, ceilings and upside, this poor man doesn't catch touchdowns and he still finishes. Last year he finished third in our league.
Yeah.
And he finished with 6 touchdowns.
Right.
So maybe Calvin Ridley's going to benefit him.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to have to stop just putting 2 guys on him. That offense is ramped up.
Danger.
So that helps Julio Jones too. So he has a lot of upside. I'm gonna love to if I'm 12, I'm gonna take him. And 10, I don't think it's a good pick too.
Yeah. I like it. Let me. We're up against, just so you know, we're gonna go an hour every time. We got 19 minutes left. We still have 3 tweets to get to, so I'm gonna jump into my 11, and he's not on your top 12, so it's gonna be different as well. I've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and really, I'm thinking that this is gonna be the cheapest that you're gonna be able to get him. Maybe now is the end of the first round, beginning of the second round. I don't think he's going to get past pick 13, 14. So if you really want him, you might need to get him here at 11. I think he's definitely talented. He was a first-round draft pick. There's a lot of capital invested in him. And like you mentioned previously, the only first-round draft pick running back this year. He jumped right into a situation with Damian Williams out, and he is going to get opportunity. I wonder how he's going to perform the whole year. I do think that DeAndre Washington will spell him, and I think by the end of the year he'll definitely be scoring more points than he did in the beginning of the year. That's just kind of my thing. I think he'll get better as he goes, kind of like Miles Sanders did last year, but definitely a lot more usage in the beginning than Miles Sanders got. So I like him, and I think it's undeniable that the Chiefs' offense is going to score a lot of points this year. And that's what you're really looking for. You're looking for high-volume offenses with star players. And Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, even Sammy Watkins is a steal this year. People just don't even care about him anymore. So I think that the whole Chiefs' offense is something I'm going to be kind of chasing a little bit. And you can pick up him. I picked him up in an industry draft in the second round. I felt good about that. So.
Yeah, man. I'm one of my things, probably a hole in my fantasy game is if I am not just positive from who you are as a college football player, sometimes I'm a little hesitant to pull the gun and spend a lot of draft capital, first round pick.
Yep.
So I hear everything you're saying. I'm not gonna not pick him if the price is right. I'm probably gonna have him in my round 2 rankings for sure, just because that offense. And watching his highlights, he sure looks like he is going to be able to play at the NFL level and go right in as a rookie.
Yeah.
So I think it's a cool pick. I tend to play it safer.
You do?
So
who do you have at 11? Who's your safe pick at 11?
He's 28 years old. He goes by the name of Nuck.
Nuck.
Otherwise
known Tom
as
Nook. I know him. He's in the Animal Crossing game my kid's obsessed with. Oh yeah.
Not that.
Oh no.
This Nuck is the baddest mofo in the league. I
Oh, shoot.
I think he's the hardest. I think he's the hardest dude to tackle, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. DeAndre Hopkins is my 11.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that guy is
He's
he's
fired.
so solid. He's so solid. There's no way he's not going to go to this new offense, and there's no way this new head coach isn't just staying at home at night figuring out how to design plays so that he gets the football.
Right.
And
He robbed the Texans of one of the best. I can't believe Bill O'Brien is. Let's just put it out here on the podcast right away because I don't think Bill O'Brien's ever going to be invited on the podcast. He is the worst general manager in the NFL. He's terrible. He's made some terrible draft picks. He's made some terrible trades with high draft picks. I don't know what he's doing, but he gave the Arizona Cardinals a steal of wide receiver.
dude, I mean, you're letting go a guy that, I mean, he's just perennially just played and just dominated in this league.
Right.
And I don't get it either. And yeah, think I think this guy Kingsbury is going to step in, and I think also Kyler Murray is, he's moved up everyone's rankings, and it's all because he's going to, just run around back there and just chuck it, and boom, completion, 30 yards, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
So, I've got him 1,300 yards, 150 plus targets. I think he'll get that. I think he'll get 100 plus receptions, and
I think I have at 103. So yeah, I agree with you.
he's minus last year, where he did deal with a little bit of injury. He's a 9+ TD guy, so that's that's solid, dude. And he's one of those kind of guys too that I just think he's so tough. So you don't have to worry, even though he did get dinged up. He's just so tough. You don't have to worry about him. He has so much body control. That was one of the things we talked about earlier in the week when we were talking about him. So he's my 11, and if you get him on your squad, you got yourself a nice WR1.
I agree. All right, so last pick, because we kind of gave your 12th pick away already, is Julio. I did something that maybe people are going to scoff at, but for me, if I'm in a redraft league with my homeboys, let me ask you a question. If you have anybody in the first round you just named, right? Anybody you named, would you also like you to have an amazing quarterback who could win you your league? Would you also like that?
Sure.
Right. So would you make? I mean, I've seen some of these top quarterbacks going in that second round in redraft leagues. Maybe you say just wait for them. Okay, maybe you do. I personally would wait for a few of them, but I'm not going to wait on Lamar Jackson. I put Lamar Jackson as my first QB1. He is the 12th pick. If I'm in a redraft league, if I have the 12th pick, I hope I don't. I don't like the 12th pick. I like the 4th through 8th. I like being in the middle. That's what I like. But if I'm at the 12, knowing I'm not going to pick again for 20-some picks, and Lamar Jackson's obviously going to get picked in there, I'm going to take him, maybe with my first pick in the first round, my 12, the 12th selection, and then come back with, Joe Mixon, or because I didn't pick him, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Julio or somebody like that to pair him with. That's going to give me an advantage just because of Lamar's rushing alone. I love him. And the problem I've been in 70,000 dynasty drafts this year, and he goes 3rd, 4th, or 5th every time. You never get him. So I really even haven't been in a redraft league with him. And so I know it's a high price to pay for QB, and JJ Zacharyson, God bless his little soul. God bless him. He's going to say wait on a QB. Yeah, you can. I'm going to get a QB who also is an RB, 1. And that's just kind of how I'm at right now with Lamar. I'd love to have Lamar in any of the players we talked about today. So
Lamar Jackson.
Yes, sir.
No, just playing.
Wild.
So I actually came up with a little sheet on why I'm not somebody who's scared in the past to draft a quarterback in the first round, but there is a strategy to why you wouldn't. And for me, Lamar Jackson is my number one in fantasy. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is wild. I think based on the way he rushes. Um, but so my little chart that I came up with is the the Lamar Jackson Mahomes, uh, you know, and
Comparison tool, kind of.
well, it's the Lamar Jackson Mahomes in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Say you want Mahomes or you want Lamar Jackson, and then your next 5 rounds versus um, wide receiver, RB, tight end, one of the top tier guys, and then maybe a quarterback in the 6th round because that's kind of how it. Those are the moves.
Right.
Like
Right. Different. Right.
whether it's the first round or the second round, Lamar Jackson's going to go. Patrick Mahomes is going to go. They're not going to be hanging around in the 3rd round in our league.
No, they're not. No way. They might go in the first. We got knowing some of the guys too. Like, well, the pull back the curtain. We've been drafting. I'm in several leagues. Mike's in a couple leagues with people who are in the industry or people who are in the know. The guys in our league, some of them are in the know, but some of them just haven't looked at a fantasy document since last year, and so there's a lot of variance in where the picks are going to be. Whereas in most leagues, you can first couple rounds are solid. Our league is going to be a bit wild, so I could see somebody getting Lamar at any pick, getting Mahomes at any pick, especially our Southern boys. Those boys,
And
yeah.
I've been that way too, and I want to chase them too. But I'm not. This is my draft order for our redraft league. This is how I've got them ranked, so you know where I'm going to stand.
Yeah.
I'm not going to chase them in the first round strictly because. And here's the little tool I built. So let's say Lamar Jackson, Mahomes get you 475, right?
Right.
That's a decent average. I mean, last year he got you 550. It's a historic. It's the best, quarterback season ever.
Yeah.
So 475 is like a safe bet. Could be 500. But if you go ahead and get yourself somebody that's going to get you, in the 350 plus point neighborhood, you get yourself a top tier guy. Let's say you're at 12, you get 320s or whatever. So if you start out with Mahomes at 475, and then you go 300 for your next pick, 250, 250, 250, 200, and then 350, 300, 250, 250. But then you get one of these just run-of-the-mill dudes that in our league, we do 6 points for touchdowns. There's a bunch of guys right in that 400 point neighborhood.
Yeah. Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford, a bunch of Matts.
Exactly. You might be able to just draft your whole team and then get like Joe Burrow.
Right.
And he in that neighborhood. So, if you do the math, it ends up being 75 points higher. Now, if Lamar Jackson has another 550 point year, then it's tie. So that's kind of factoring in regression.
Right.
But you've got a guy like Dak too.
I love Dak this year.
You can grab him a little bit later and get 2 higher valued skill positions that are going to get you around the 300 plus greater neighborhood, and then still grab a guy that maybe gets you that 450, 475. So that's my argument against the quarterback in the first round. But at every league, every league, somebody's going to draft him in the first round. In our league, it's Scott here. So, and I get it. I want to have Lamar Jackson on one of my teams. I'm going to be so jealous, and it's going to suck twice a year when I have to play you or whatever, and just sweat that dude. So,
well, here's the thing. I agree with you. If you this is what you're betting on. It's not a fragility thing necessarily, but what you said is accurate. You do lose that value of that stud wide receiver, that stud running back that you could get, and you can't get later. You can't get Dalvin Cook later. You get Kareem Hunt later, you can't get Dalvin Cook. But You employ a good wide receiver 2 theory, folks, and all things are possible in the later rounds.
Yeah.
That's all I got. It's a tease. That's a tease.
No, yeah. That was
Yeah.
that was one of the reasons why I love Joe Mixon is our boy Tyler Boyd, I think fits into your wide receiver 2 theory. With AJ Green coming back. So we'll be getting into wide receiver 2 theory in the later rounds, but that's another reason why Joe Mixon made the first round for me is that offense. AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, they have the new cat, T. Higgins, that they drafted from Clemson in the second round. And then Joe Burrow. I think he's gonna have his best season ever.
Gonna eat. I love it.
He's gonna eat.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's our
Top 12.
yeah, we did it. That's our first round, and like we'll have everything up on the website so you guys can all see it.
Yeah. The fantasymillionaires.com. On YouTube, follow us. We are the Fantasy Millionaires. On Instagram, we're the Fantasy Millionaires. On Twitter, we are FF Millionaires because they didn't have enough characters. Twitter, what are you doing? At Gmail, we are the Fantasy Millionaires. So, let us know. We do have a quick 3 minutes for some 3 tweets. So,
what about, did we want to make any comment on...
let me do that in my 3 tweets. Let me do that.
Oh, okay. We'll work that in.
Yeah, I'm bringing up my 3 tweets right now, and for me, I'm rolling it in, and it is the Vince McMahon The Rock attack from backstage at one of these wrestling events a long time ago. I sent it to you. It's in our DMs. Let me know when you got it. It's from I think Abdullah Mimo.
All
right. Ready? 3, 2.
Hold on.
Okay.
1 minute. Thank God I got this mouse.
The mouse is very important.
All right. 1 second. All right. 1 second. Let me get this all queued back.
I think Bo's the only one watching right now, so bear with us, Bo. Shout out Bo, by the way. Love Bo. He's at Nimble with Numbers right now. He's working hard to get that sauce ready for us. Can't wait for that sauce.
Love Bo.
Love Bo. Bo is the man. You ready?
Ready, set, go.
But that happened after the match was over.
Oh, get him, Rock. Get him. So, I love The Rock, and I love the XFL. I was an XFL writer, and we've been just in purgatory since the beginning of this. McMahon is a bad guy. Let's just be honest. The Rock is the best. Get him, Rock. Get him. So this is my first tweet of my 3 tweets. Is The Rock beating up Vince McMahon. It's awesome. Do it, Rock. Do it, man. Hit him with it. Oh, he's begging The Rock. Don't hit me with the trash can lid. He says, nope. I'll hit you with the trash can. I love it, man. This is just... Oh, into the limo.
The whole McMahon entourage hasn't arrived. They partied all night long. Oh, no. Oh, this is certainly no party.
Oh, he's getting shoved in the limo now by The Rock. And he slammed the door. Oh, not safe pork language by The Rock. When The Rock's the president, I just wanted him to... Oh, he hits him with a trash can again. So that was mine. I had to show you guys that. So,
what did he end? I didn't read the article. So, what did he end up getting? The X. I think I saw something like 15 million or something like that. What did he buy it for? That
15 million. Yeah, him and another partner bought for 15 million. So
that's just one little movie for that dude. He just scooped up the XFL for 15 million.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome, dude.
Thank you, Vince McMahon, for nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. All right. How about you? What do you got going on?
Let me get it to you.
Okay.
This was you're gonna love this one. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Okay.
Directly in your Twitter box, and
I want it right in the Twitter box. That's where I normally take it. So
take that in your Twitter box, dude. Okay.
Oh, I've seen this one. This is hilarious.
Was hilarious to me.
Let's put this on.
All right.
The cigarette does it for me too. It's
As he's smoking in his house.
yeah. Let's go. All right. Here.
All right. Three.
Hold on. Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Well, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Robust Review, the only show in the fantasy space that will tell you about the hard truth regarding. I'm joined by my co.
Okay, hold on.
Do it. Ready, set, go.
Ladies,
I gotta get back to the beginning. All right, I'm ready.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta make it. Yeah, it just totally messes it up if it's not right.
Yeah.
Why is this not rewinding all the way? Oh, come on. Oh, well.
You mean
I'm just going to mute your... I'm going to mute it.
I'll mute yours for yours,
All right.
okay?
All right. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Robust Review, the only show in the fantasy space that will tell you about the hard truths regarding running backs. I'm joined by my co-host, a partner in Patriot in Crime, CD Carter. How we doing today, brother?
I'm ready to take down the international conglomerate aligned against the running back position in the year of our Lord 2020. We will not let it happen. We are here for the people.
I see these people wanting to draft wide receivers. Like, all I can do is think, you simple-minded, brainwashed sheep. They have found magnets that pull the running backs into the end zone.
That's all I hear when I log into a fantasy football website.
Listen to me. The storm is coming.
Zero RB drafters are influenced by a satanic energy emanating from the moon. You know who advocated for the forward pass beat? His name rhymes with Adolf.
Running back drafters have superior genetics.
Pete, I once robbed a bank to fund my robust running back high-stakes drafts.
You want actual truth? QAnon unearthed best ball win rates. They said teams that started their drafts with 10 running backs won their league at a 99.9% clip. You guys hear? You guys read this perception. Matt Harmon is an operative for big wide receiver.
Matt Harmon hates freedom. I think that we can say that pretty decisively.
Wide receivers are robots built in a lab by Roger Goodell to distract us from the true essence of football.
How do we even know that wide receivers aren't crisis actors?
Fantasy Mensa has been deplatformed. We have been removed from all social media sites.
I tried to log on to every social media site. We have been kicked off. We have been silenced.
We are launching our new show on Parler. The movement starts now. The truth must be revealed.
I'm hiding in the shower. I hear the feds banging on the door. They're coming for me, Pete.
Are you ready to go to fucking war?
The truth can never be silenced. It will seep through the cracks.
Follow us on Parler. My Venmo's open.
That is a masterpiece. Those two gentlemen are a couple of personal heroes of mine, if I haven't shared that before. Whew! Yeah. That is hot fire.
Yeah.
Hot fire.
Well, that is that's my tweet. I actually had a couple technical difficulties, so whatever.
I think your tweet wins. To be honest with you.
Okay, my tweet's the winner.
Yes. Okay. But I think we should hijack, and I think I should just throw in a tweet that I think just deserves a little bit of run. Is it okay if I do a little hijacking on the first episode?
Well, win. How about you win? You can have it.
It's something that happened earlier today. It's a video that I shared with you that involves us. It's our video.
Okay. You're gonna do the promo vid?
Yeah, we're gonna throw the promo vid of us out there. Me and Mike are old school guys. We're in our 40s. I'm 41. Mike's 40. So we love us some Will Ferrell and some John C. Reilly. So as a little homage, put together a little promo video for the new website, the new podcast, the whole launch. Really. Tell me when you're ready, and we can make this thing happen.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Excuse me, everyone, if I could have your attention, please.
We begin. We enter into the brave new world. So.
Yeah.
Collins, the Ralph Macho on Twitter.
I mean, I'm bored right now, but this is.
Did you spit hot fire right now?
Yeah, totally hot fire. I'm really excited.
Investors? Possibly you.
Damn, for real.
It's so fun. I watched that 30
Hey,
times.
everyone, if you have your attention, please.
We begin.
I watched it seriously 100 times. That was so tight.
Thank you, my friend. I put that together, laying on my couch today, going over the Step Brothers movie, and then just our practice pods so far, just things we've said, and it's kind of crude for sure, not the best editing, but love you, man, love this, can't wait to do this with you, and it's going to be every Monday night, 9:30, hopefully till 10. We ran a little bit over today, but we'll get it in. We'll get a little quicker next time. But it's going to be until February, until the 15th or the whatever the date of the second weekend, second Monday in February is. We'll wrap up the season. So stay tuned. It's going to be live every week during Monday Night Football's halftime. We'll be there. Halftime gets a little boring. You don't want to watch Bob Costas and Mike Tirico and those guys. Come watch us. Come listen to us.
Put the game on Monday night and put it on mute and get ready for your fantasy waiver wire picks on Wednesday. So
yeah, we'll be talking mad fire about the picks you should be picking up, the players you want to pick, players that are hot off the games that are playing on Sunday and then that are played right then in there on Monday as well. So we're going to keep bringing it, and this has been great, man. Great first episode. So proud of us, and so proud to be a part of this with you, my friend. So
yeah, man, I love you too. This is awesome. A couple things after spending some time with you. I do want to say.
Don't talk to me, all right? Knock it off!
Yeah. Okay. Whew, that's tough, to hear, but I've got something to say too, and that that is
I'm gonna roundhouse your ass.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing I wanted to say.
Out of my face. I'm gonna roundhouse your ass.
So we're like-minded, like our first 5 picks.
Yeah. Well, we are
The Millionaires.
So
deuces, bro.
All right, man. Love you.
See y'all next week.
Peace.